Senator Wagner, Dr. Hannick, PALCS Board of Directors, esteemed PALCS faculty and administrators, friends and family, thank you all for being here to celebrate the PA Leadership Charter School Class of 2016. Before I begin, I just want to have everyone give another round of applause for Sam for a fantastic speech throughout all odds. Staying here today, I'm so grateful for the opportunity to share some thoughts with you. Standing here after completing high school, I'm amazed at how far we've all come. But on this momentous occasion, I'm not going to bore you with sentimental fluff or generic cliches all about our great 4 years. Well, don't misunderstand me. We all had a great 4 years. They've all been excellent. And reminiscing over our fond memories, it's enjoyable in its own way. But instead, I'm going to take my time here to tell you about stories. What is a story? A story is something of substance. It's part of our history, part of our minds, part of that adhesive that gels us together. Stories are something that we share and cherish among our friends and family. They stitch together the threads of the past and weave them through the fabric of our future. Stories are part of us. And those stories matter. My fellow graduates, each of us has a story to tell. Stories about our lives, about our families, and about our school, Pennsylvania Leadership Charter School. Today, as we graduate, I want to share some of these stories about how PALCS has made an enormous difference in my life as it has for many others. Stories like that of two friends of mine. Although they're very different people and they live in different areas of Pennsylvania, they've shared a similar experience thanks to our school. Both of them came to PALCS in order to escape the bullying which they experienced at their former schools. And yet now, through PALCS, both of them have become community leaders and student activists. PALCS makes it possible. One PALCS graduate that I know very well, he's not a very outspoken person. He's quiet and reserved, and by his own admission, he doesn't do very well in group settings, like we are here today. But one-on-one, if you get him on the topics of screenwriting, cinematography, and video game design, he'll talk for hours about communicating the human condition through the arts. He shared with me that at one school he attended, he had experienced very harsh bullying from classmates, which only caused him to draw further inside of himself and shut himself off from others. But when he enrolled in PALCS, he had the opportunity to pursue academics as well as his interests, without the bullying and without the harsh treatment by peers. And now, as a young professional, he writes screenplays, designs games, and works at a local school for special needs students. PALCS makes it possible. And my own life has been greatly impacted by PALCS. And now, as a PALCS graduate, I have the privilege to tell you my story. Before I attended PALCS, I was a homeschool student. From kindergarten through 9th grade, I had the fun of learning at home, attending homeschool co-op classes every week. And yes, some days I got to do my school in my pajamas. Add in weekly core classes with great instructors, and I thought I was on my way to a great 4 years of homeschooling. Or so I thought. In 2009, my family's lives were changed forever. That infamous economic downturn, which I'm sure we're all familiar with, called the Great Recession, caused the organization that my father worked for, his division, to be dissolved. While he was left unemployed and searching for jobs, my mom stepped up. She took on part-time and later full-time work to help with our family's income. As our dynamic changed, my mother no longer had the time to guide me in my studies as a homeschool student. And without my father's income, we didn't have the funds for classes to develop my growing interests in science and math. And just using textbooks, they didn't provide the academic challenge that I was craving. At that point, family didn't have very many options. Private school or even college courses were far beyond our means, and our local school district was in disrepair, filled with student unrest and other problems. We were very unsure what to do or where to turn. But then we remembered PALCS. By that point, we had already knew PALCS graduates, PALCS students, PALCS staffers, and PALCS faculty. Faculty like our own Miss Lynn Paris, who, by the way, used to be one of those great homeschool instructors that I used to have. So we decided to take the plunge, and I enrolled in PALCS. And you know what? I quickly discovered that PALCS had all the advantages of homeschooling, including the fact that I could still go to class in my pajamas. But more than that, I could continue to work at my own pace, get an academic challenge that I couldn't get anywhere else, and do it all virtually from home or wherever I go. And as a PALCS sophomore, I began to find opportunities that I never had. I could jump into honors classes, especially in science and math, participate in student organizations, such as the student government and the National Honor Society. And especially through student government, advised by Mr. Paris, I got plugged into a community of students from all over the state of Pennsylvania. And now through PALCS, my friends are no longer the people I have across the street or who I might meet around my community. They're from places like Pittsburgh, Danville, Harrisburg, Erie, and Philadelphia. And this year, as a senior, I've had the privilege to participate in the PALCS University Scholars Program, or USP. I've been so grateful for the challenge, the guidance, and support, and the sense of community that I've experienced at USP. It's prepared me in many ways for the journey ahead in college and my career. Today, I stand before you a PALCS graduate with accolades and a full scholarship to attend Widener University. But I'll be the first to tell you, it's the result of very hard work over a long time. But I can most definitely say that none of this would have ever been possible without the faithful support of my parents and my teachers and mentors that have supported me throughout my high school years. And I want to take a minute to thank each of you from the bottom of my heart. Excellent teachers like Mrs. Paris, Mr. Stiles, Mr. Chotla, Mr. Hansley, Mr. Goebel, Ms. Jacobson, Mr. Paris, and many more that I don't have time to list here that have challenged me, encouraged me, and spurred me on to do more and to be more than I ever thought that I could. I so appreciate your investment in me, in all of us, to help us on our way to become the leaders of tomorrow. PALCS makes it possible. My story is the evidence, and so is yours. Frankly, as we continue on with this ceremony, you're probably going to forget most of what was said today. It'll all amalgamate together in a tipping cartwheel of lost memories. But the stories that we share here, the stories of our own lives, those will stay with us. If you get nothing else from this ceremony today, take this. Your story matters. And you can make an impact. Your story is what keeps PALCS alive. Amid all of the debates in our state legislature about funding cuts and anxiety about our nation's future, your story stands as a testament to the power of cyber charter schools and your success as a PALCS student. And now, as PALCS high school graduates, each of you have become an important part of our story here today, together. And now, this story has come to an end. But the next one begins. And it's going to be wonderful. Write the story well, my fellow grads. Write it well. Congratulations, PALCS class of 2016.